Chapter 1. The Market of Shadows. The market reeked of oil, sweat, and desperation. It was set deep within the ruins of Varkas, 7, a once proud colony now reduced to mud and tents after the collapse. Traders from dozens of fringe systems hawked scavenged tech, exotic creatures, and, on rare, darker days, sentience. Elias Vorn hated being there. He wasn't a soldier anymore, just a cargo hauler running small runs between colonies, trying to forget the war. But credits were thin and his ship, the Sparrow's Fall, needed a new flux coil. He pushed through the crowd, boots splashing in muck, his eyes scanning makeshift stalls of rusted weaponry and scrap. Then he heard the murmuring. A crowd had gathered around a raised platform of metal. At its center was a woman, not a human. Chained by wrists and ankles, her skin was a smooth pale blue that shimmered faintly in the light. Her hair, white and wild, hung in her face. She wore tattered fabric barely sufficient to protect her from the chill of the misty air. A brazen slaver stood beside her, tall and skeletal, voice amplified through a throat horn. Behold, the last of the Aelari. Mind-bonded, memory-linked, genetically pure. The Dominion exterminated her kind, but I, Zart the Binder, offer you this rare prize. Some of the crowd jeered. Others leered. Elias wanted to turn away. Then she looked at him. Her eyes, violet and soft, met his like a thunderclap to the chest. And she whispered, voice like cracking glass, "Please take me home." Chapter 2. Unwanted Awakening. He didn't know why he stepped forward. 10,000 credits, Elias said, his voice flat. Zart squinted. You mock me, human? I'll give you 10 in sovereign chips. Right now. The crowd laughed. A child tossed a pebble. Zart growled, but something shifted in his tone. No one else bids. She's dead weight. Give me the chips. Elias threw the pack. The alien slaver snatched it and barked something to his guards. Chains were unlocked. She fell into Elias's arms like a wounded bird. He carried her away without looking back. Chapter 3. The Healing Bay. Aboard the Sparrow's Fall, she lay on a med slab, barely breathing. Elias applied dermal sealers to the wounds on her wrists and ankles, injected nutrient serums, and watched helplessly as her body trembled through unconsciousness. He didn't know her name. He didn't know if she'd survive. But something about that moment, the way she looked at him, had hollowed him out. On the second night, she stirred. Her voice was faint. Where am I? Safe, Elias said softly. You're safe. Her eyes fluttered open, weak but lucid. You took me. You asked. She turned away, shame crossing her features. I didn't think you would. I didn't think I would either. Chapter 4. Her name was Serial. Over the following days, she recovered slowly. Her name was Serial, one of the last of the Aelari, a race of bioluminescent beings known for their empathy and mental connectivity. The Dominion had declared them dangerous, too powerful, too united. They'd culled them to near extinction. Serial had watched her kin fall, her hive scattered. She had been captured while trying to bury her brother. Elias listened. He didn't speak of the war, not at first. He cleaned her wounds, fed her, gave her his bunk. One night, as the ship drifted between star lanes, she stood at the viewport, eyes wide. So much darkness, she whispered. Elias stood beside her. And stars, too. She looked at him, something fragile stirring in her voice. Why did you help me? Elias hesitated. I fought in a war. I left a lot of people behind. Maybe I just didn't want to leave another. Chapter 5. The Signal. Weeks passed. Serial grew stronger. They stopped at fringe ports. She wore a hood and stayed close. Word of her presence began to spread. An Aelari alive? A bounty of 50,000 sovereign credits was posted within a month. One night, while Cyril slept, Elias received a tight beam transmission from Dominion Command. Subject: Fugitive Aelari female. Content: Immediate surrender required. Reward for compliance: Lethal force authorized. Elias stared at the screen, heart pounding. He turned it off. Chapter 6: Ties That Bind. They were orbiting Varelles 3, a terraformed moon Elias knew had deep caves and old rebel bunkers. A good hiding spot. He told Cyril they were there for supplies. But she could sense it. "You're afraid," she said quietly. He nodded. "They know. They want you back." Her face fell, but she didn't cry. She stepped closer to him. "Then I'll go. If they take me, you live." "No," he gripped her shoulders. "No more running. Not alone." "Why do you care so much?" she asked, voice trembling. Elias looked into her eyes. "Because the universe is full of people who look away. And I've done enough looking away for a lifetime." Chapter 7: Home is a Choice. They landed in the shadow of the Varelles Ridge. Cyril explored the caves, rediscovering the feeling of solid earth beneath her feet, the wind in her hair. "This place," she said one evening by a fire, "feels like home." "It can be," Elias replied. She looked at him then, glowing faintly in the firelight. "You gave me a choice when no one else would." He smiled. "You asked me to take you home." She leaned into him. "I didn't know it was you." Chapter 8: When They Came. It was dawn when the Dominion ship broke through the clouds. Black, angular, humming with silent menace. Cyril grabbed Elias's arm. "We can't fight them. I don't plan to." But he had prepared. He activated the auto-defense perimeter, pulled an old plasma rifle from the locker, and stood between the mouth of the cave and the incoming drop team. 5 soldiers landed, armor gleaming. A Dominion captain stepped forward. "Turn over the Aelari." "She's under my protection," Elias said. "Then you'll die with her." They raised weapons. Cyril stepped forward. Her glow intensified. Her voice echoed in their minds. "I am not a prisoner. I am not a weapon. I am not yours." The soldiers faltered, grasping their helmets. The captain's eyes went wide, and then they turned and fled. Chapter 9: A New Dawn. Later, by the fire, Elias held Cyril's hand. "They'll come again," she said. "Let them," Elias replied. She smiled. "You stayed." He nodded. "You asked me to take you home. And now." Elias looked out at the stars, at the cave, at the fire between them. "I think we build it here. Together." Cyril leaned her head on his shoulder. And in the quiet that followed, something like peace finally bloomed in both of them.